to you 3 theories. Spoiler warning, let's get into it. Theory 1. Luang screwed up Vane's death. At the end of Bridon Arc, we watched as Vane had a heart attack and died, only for him to come back to life at the end when Liu Xiao opened his body bag. Is Vane immortal? No. It was confirmed by the director of Link Click that Vane did not use an ability during Bridon Arc. Not to say he doesn't have one at all, it's just that him coming back to life was someone else's doing. That someone else is Wang Qing, kind of. There is a clue about her ability hidden in her student number. If you type it into a Chinese T9 keypad, you get these Chinese characters, which translate to a person with the ability to fake death. While the rest isn't confirmed, we can infer that you need to know a person's real name to activate it. It kills a person completely and then revives them after a certain period of time. Aside from the reviving part, the whole thing could be described as an internal death note. The reason why I say kind of is because it wasn't Wang Qing who killed Vane, but rather Luang. The way the scene played out is up for debate. It's clear from Luang's hand movements and the change in eye color that it was him who got Wang Qing to stand up and stop Vane's heart. But exactly how this is possible doesn't really make sense, because either A, he used Cheng Xiaoshe's ability to take over when she took that photo, but that would mean he was pretending to be Cheng Xiaoshe's mum the whole time, which is a bit weird. Or B, same thing, but he was only able to take control of her body once Cheng Xiaoshe's mum left, kind of like a priority order for which time traveler gets control. Or C, he has some other way, maybe another ability, to take control of her body. He already has 2 abilities, why not one more? They're surprisingly easy to get. It seems like all you have to do is be touching someone with powers when they die and bam, it's all yours. He's been through multiple loops, who knows what else he's picked up. Anyway, from his monologue at the end, it's very clear Luang had every intention to kill Vane, which means he wasn't aware that Wang Qing's ability was actually a fake death. I imagine he saw her or heard about her using her ability to kill someone in a past timeline. He knew you need the person's name, so he learned Vane's real name, but he never found out about the reviving part of the ability. So when he goes to use her ability, he thinks he has a foolproof way to kill Vane without leaving any evidence. But unfortunately, that is not the case at all. And if anything, he's just made everything significantly worse for himself by pissing off Vane and revealing to him he has powers as well. Theory 2. Xia Fei is going to be a problem. Don't worry about Vane though, because Luang created an even worse enemy in the form of Xia Fei. In his final lines, he says no matter what, he'll find out what happened to Vane and will not let the culprit get away. If he never finds out that Vane survived, I fully believe he will follow through with this to the point of extreme action. Xia Fei is shown to have some slight anger issues. The person he trusts most dying is probably already enough to send him over the edge, but imagine if he ever finds out one of his friends, someone Vane was helping out, was the culprit. After experiencing that level of betrayal, God knows what he would do. But because Luang used an ability to kill Vane, there's no evidence and he'll never work it out, right? Nope. By his last appearance, he's already come up with the idea that Vane's death was caused by some kind of supernatural power. All it would take is for him to find out these powers really exist, and I'm sure he could piece together the boys were involved in no time. But how would he ever find out these powers are real? That's where Liu Xiao comes in. Now that Vane's dead, the only person Xia Fei can rely on is Liu Xiao. It has been hinted at 1,000,001 times that he is the real mastermind behind everything going wrong. What he does best is manipulating people to do his bidding. He would absolutely show Xia Fei that abilities are real so he can manipulate him into doing something to hurt the boys. Going back to, or I guess forward to the present, we can see Luang looking at a news report on his phone. Jack and Xia Fei have gone missing. Everything I'm about to say is just speculation with no real evidence. Let's just call it an informed guess. I believe Xia Fei killed Jack. Most likely, Jack provoked him, he finally reached the limit of how much abuse he could take, and he killed him. But I honestly think that isn't going to be too important, aside from showing the fact he's capable of killing. What is important is the fact he's also missing. Once you've killed someone, who is better to trust than the dodgiest guy you know? He most likely went straight to Liu Xiao for help, who put him into hiding. Hell, having him kill Jack was probably part of his plan to begin with, to get Xia Fei to solely trust and rely on him. We know from the end of season 2, Liu Xiao is back in China, and most likely Xia Fei went with him. My bet is the next season will involve him randomly showing up at the photo studio's door. This is extra bad because Cheng Xiaoshe trusts Xia Fei, and Luang at the very least doesn't think he's a bad person. He's not aware that he's attempting attempt to kill Vane triggered this kind of change in him. If he were to show up at the photo studio asking for help, they would do everything they could for him. Once Xiao Fei works out it was Luang who killed Vane, he would happily do whatever Liao Xiao told him in the name of revenge, giving Liao Xiao the perfect pawn to act out whatever plan to hurt the boys he's cooked up. Theory 3. Vane never wanted to kill anyone. For my final theory, I want to go back to the first scene of Bridon Arc. In the photo studio, we see the boys fighting Vane before Cheng Xiaoshe gets shot, passes his ability on to Luang and dies. Luang goes up to their room, grabs a photo, and dives back in time. It's a very sad moment, but there is so much off with it. What stands out immediately is that not once in this scene do we see Vane's eyes. If this was just plain old Vane, there would be absolutely no reason why they couldn't just show his eyes. The only reason his eyes would be obscured is if they were a different color due to an ability. Also, at no point does Vane shoot to kill. When Cheng Xiaoshe is lying on the ground defenseless, he doesn't even point his gun at him. Instead, he turns to Luang and completely misses. He then shoots at Luang's feet despite having a clear shot. He totally misses again when he could have taken his time to line up. He doesn't shoot Luang when he grabs the chair, and in his next shot the pot breaks before Luang even dodges, so it was another complete miss. Luang is literally just sitting there, but he doesn't kill him. His next shot is the one that killed Cheng Xiaoshe, yes, but just look at it. Vane is shooting with his left hand, but the bullet goes to the right. Luang is sitting below and behind Cheng Xiaoshe. At most, this shot would have clipped his arm. He absolutely had the time to line up a headshot, but you're telling me he missed this bad? Cheng Xiaoshe only died because he jumped in front of the bullet, not because Vane was trying to kill him. When the boys go into the dark room, he shoots one more time and then just gives up. You could so easily break down that door. But he doesn't even try. And when Luang leaves the room to die back in time, he's just gone? You're telling me a trained mafia leader with a gun couldn't take out two unarmed lanky idiots? There's just no way. Vane was not trying to kill them. The only thing Vane says during this scene is this is the punishment for changing the past. How could Vane possibly know about anything the boys have done? Keep in mind, this is the first time Cheng Xiaoshe died, so Luang hasn't gone around making massive changes like trying to kill Vane yet. When Luang and Vane meet in Bridon, Vane is completely unaware of the fact Luang has been messing with time. He doesn't even know who he is. It is impossible for Vane to be punishing him for changing time. Vane is loyal to those who are valuable to him. Based on their interactions in Bridon Arc, Vane was willing to help the boys and seemed quite interested in Luang. I just don't see why he would try to kill them. Not to mention, he attacks them in China. Why bother chasing two random guys to the other side of the world? So what actually happened? No surprises here, I'm sure it's all Liao Xiao's fault. He clearly knows something about Cheng Xiaoshe and his parents. Considering he also has powers, he would definitely know about theirs, making the whole punishment for changing the past thing fit. Vane is simply a pawn used to do Liao Xiao's dirty work. With his connections in Bridon and his skill at murdering people, it makes sense as to why Liao Xiao would want to manipulate him. As for what happened in the photo studio, my best guess is that Vane was under the control of one of Liao Xiao's abilities, something like mind control rather than a complete takeover, as that leaves room for Vane to be able to resist in some way. Maybe he found the boys interesting, or decided working with Liao Xiao was wrong, so he decides to not kill them. Instead, he does the bare minimum to make it seem like he's doing what Liao Xiao wants, giving the boys ample opportunity to stop him. That was until he accidentally shot Cheng Xiaoshe. He messed up and ended up doing what Liao Xiao wanted, which is why he looks angry at the end. Now that Cheng Xiaoshe is dead, the mind control lets up and he's able to leave without harming Luang. Is that too much of a stretch? I guess we'll have to wait until next season to find out, or until some new PVs drop that completely contradict everything we know. Thank you for your time.